And that's it on BBC One. We can now join the BBC's news teams where you are. Goodbye. Hello, good evening. Here we are. Hope you had a good day. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining us. Now, coming up on the programme tonight, millions is going to be spent on our local high streets, but how exactly should the money be used? Well, the government money won't necessarily be used for retail and could even see that scaled back. So are such things as flats, more flats and art galleries the key to reviving our town and city centres? We're going to be talking about this tonight. Like your views, how should this money be spent in our town and city centres? The email address is there, or you can tweet me, Peter_Levy tweet. Now I get it straight away here in the studio with your views. See the report in just a moment. Look forward to hearing from you. Also on the programme tonight, the son who is missed by his family every day and the new measures for the Humber Bridge to stop people taking their lives. The X Factor singer sentenced for his part in this wild high-speed crash in Lincolnshire. And hello to the heroes. School children say thank you to the man who saved their town from further flooding. And it's a very happy Lincolnshire Day, even though we've got a Yorkshireman to do the weather forecast. Can't have everything.
Quite right too. Well, I tell you what, it's been a miserable day today, but blue sky is on its way for tomorrow. Join me for the very latest.
Yes, it's the latest attempt to give our struggling towns and city centres a boost. Millions of pounds are being poured into high streets across northern Lincolnshire and East Yorkshire. And from today, local businesses and property developers are being asked to bid for the cash. It could mean fewer big retailers on our high streets and more of the smaller businesses alongside new flats and homes. One place to benefit is Scunthorpe, and our business correspondent Philip Norton is there at the moment. How much difference could this and will this make to the town?
Yes, Peter, we're just off the high street here in Scunthorpe, and when you have a look around, you see the scale of the problem that's affecting so many towns and cities right across the area. And this is the problem. It's large former retail units, large vacant spaces, the to let signs are up, but there are no new businesses coming forward to open up shops inside them. So what is the solution? Well, this government money, this new pot of money that's been announced today, means that £260,000 is coming to Scunthorpe. It will be match funded by local investors as well, and it's all part of the government's Northern Powerhouse commitment. But will it bring a solution to this?
A downpour in Scunthorpe, but a stream of money now coming in to help rejuvenate the high street. The share of the new Humber High Street Challenge Fund will be spent encouraging landlords here to get empty shops back into use, perhaps turning them into permanent offices or homes.
This is a really good example of a shop unit. Actually it was a double fronted shop here that's converted itself into 4 apartments and obviously progressed into another retail unit as well, so it can be done. We've got about 35 units that are, permanently either just too big to let or, frankly, not quite in the right sort of area. So I think this could happily convert some of those into really positive use, give a welcome home to somebody, or indeed create an employment space for somebody where there isn't one at the minute.
But turning prime retail spots into housing is being seen by some as an admission that the traditional shop-filled high street has now gone forever, largely thanks to online sales. And there's a hint of scepticism from some traders here too, that homes on the high street are the answer.
Just a few doors down from Thomas Cook, the latest empty shop on the high street, 2 neighbouring independent traders.
It was empty for 5 years. We started here just after Christmas. That shop there across there, the owner's already spent £20,000–30,000 doing it up. The shop inside is perfect, it's fantastic. Somebody came in there for 3 months and moved out because the rent you negotiate right, the business rates were too high. I mean, if you want to develop an area, maybe drop your business rates down.
I've been in the family for 40 years. I've been here for the last 23 years. And I think the more shops that come empty, the less people actually come onto the high street. I think if the investment's there, plus that probably work with on the council, the price of the rates, then hopefully we can turn it round again, bringing back the old days.
But have those old days just gone?
I think they have. I think they're long gone, but we live in hope. We've been here for a lot of years and we want to stay here for a few more years as well.
But with business rates set centrally by the government, the council says it's working on other ways to attract shoppers, like free parking. Funding's also been made available for areas such as Whitefrigate in Hull and the Casbah development on Grimsby's docks. Regeneration projects hoping new ideas will breathe new life into town centres.
And Peter, when you look above, you can see that all of these premises were all originally built as homes. And speaking to the council leader today, he says perhaps this is now a time of natural progression, that the cycle of turning them into retail units has now gone full circle and we need to turn them back into the homes as they were originally built. Peter.
Phil, thanks very much indeed. Money for Scunthorpe there, that £260,000. Well, is money the answer to the problems on our high streets? We've talked about Hull many times just recently. Well, this afternoon I've been talking to Victoria Reimer. She ran a business in Hull for 25 years, but has moved out last week. She says she was driven away by the increasing antisocial behaviour and drug taking in the city centre. Victoria, what was the final straw that made you shut up after 25 years?
We just wasn't getting the footfall that we used to get years ago anymore, and it was sort of preventing us moving the business on, really.
And customers nervous of being in the city centre?
Yeah, definitely. I only had a lady in a few weeks ago, and she'd actually been dropped off into the city centre at 9 o'clock in the morning, and she came in feeling quite nervous because there was actually groups of drug addicts about. She actually said to us that she said, I think I'm going to have to stop coming, because she felt that nervous.
How frustrating is the antisocial behaviour and the spice heads in the city centre at the moment?
It's quite scary. I mean, I employ young girls. I have trainees that have just left school. You know, we're coming into the winter months, so when they leave work at 5:30, 6, it's getting dark.
But it's very sad, isn't it, that we're losing businesses, not just small businesses, the big boys as well, because of this.
Yeah, I think even sort of like House of Fraser, it was really sad when they went, because they actually brought people into the city centre.
So did you just get to the point where you'd had enough?
Yeah, we did, and I was ready to sign my lease for another 5 years, and I just didn't feel at all that my business would exist.
What do you think is going to happen to the city centre of Hull?
I don't really know. I hope. I really do hope that they can do something about it. I think they've got to...
Who do you blame? I mean, what would you say to the council and the police who are watching tonight?
I'd say they need to remove them so people feel a lot more confident in the city centre. I got to the point where I wouldn't even go to the bank to do my banking in the city centre anymore.
Because you were scared?
I made sure I did it on my day offs and things like that, because it was really nervous. I think it's the fact that they're hanging around in groups, and that's intimidating. Even if you just went round the corner for a sandwich to the Couplands.
Will you be the last business that closes, or will there be more?
I think there'll be more, I really do.
Very good to talk to you. Good luck with the new salon. It looks great. I wish you well.
Thank you.
Yeah, maybe you run a business in the centre of Hull and you want to comment on this story. And more of the smaller shops, perhaps more places to live in places like Hull and Grimsby, and we heard about Scunthorpe. Is that the way forward? What's the one thing that would bring money and people back into your local town or city centre? Your views on this one. Homes on the high street, is that the answer? Move from shops to homes. How should this money be spent, and what can be done to stop Hull losing more businesses? The text number 81333. Start the text with the word Look North, come straight to us. Email in looknorth@bbc.co.uk. Look North, all one word, at bbc.co.uk, or follow me on Twitter and tweet now, Peter_Levy. Some of your comments on this one before we finish at 7 o'clock. A teenager has gone missing in East Yorkshire. Faith Doherty, who is 13, was last spotted in Bridlington this morning. Police say that they're concerned for her welfare. Hundreds of jobs are to be created at a recipe box business in Lincolnshire. Gusto, which delivers meal kits to customers, has a base in Spalding. The company plans to create 400 jobs in its centre there over the next 3 years. It comes after it secured a £30 million cash injection. A clean-up operation has begun after a number of homes were flooded in southern Lincolnshire this afternoon. The fire service and the police are in attendance on Westcliff Road in Ruskington near Sleaford. It's thought the water came from nearby Ruskington Beck. And flood warnings do remain in place across East Yorkshire and Lincolnshire because of high tides and heavy rain. And the Environment Agency is still monitoring the areas. And don't forget, of course, there'll be a full forecast in just a few minutes' time from Paul. This is Sam Conlin from Hull, and his family believe that late last year he took his own life. Now they've welcomed new ideas aimed at protecting young men who may be considering doing the same after the decision was taken to look into raising the height of barriers on the Humber Bridge. Katie Austin has been to meet Sam Conlin's dad, Ian.
My son's name was Sam Conlin. He was a keen gym enthusiast. He had a fantastic social life. We knew he was having a bit of mental health problems, but nothing gave us any idea that he felt suicidal or to that point.
Ian's son Sam was last seen in late December. His family believe he took his own life.
We'll never get over it.
Ian believes higher barriers on the Humber Bridge could prevent further tragedies.
Anything they can do to stop one person doing it, to me, would be fantastic and worthwhile.
It is something the Humber Bridge Board is now looking at. They don't yet know exactly what the raised barriers would look like or the cost.
Most of it's technical, because what we have to do is to make sure we find the right solution that makes it safer for people but doesn't compromise the safety of the bridge.
Leon and Paul started Andy's Man Club in Hull, where men can talk together about their feelings on a Monday night, a growing number of men.
When we first started Andy's Man Club 2 years ago, we had 6 men, and we had 6 men for quite a few weeks. The week before last, we had 78. When you see the journey and see them coming out of a storm after a few weeks, it's absolutely brilliant to see.
While they support any measure such as higher barriers which could prevent suicide, they say it's important to keep a focus on the root causes and keep the conversation going.
I think the first thing is talking and acknowledging there's a problem. I think that's the first thing that everyone can do. For me, what we're seeing is we're going to see a rise in people talking, a rise in people reporting, and them services have got a big challenge in catching up to supply that demand.
Ian also wants to encourage anyone who's struggling to talk to others.
To your parents, your friends, even if you can't talk to them, try and find somebody who's impartial and don't know you if you feel as though you're too proud and can't. But I would just say, please try to talk to people.
So the message gets across. That's Ian Conlin ending that report from Katie Austin. As I always say, if you do want to comment on a story, or if you've got a story you think we should be putting on the TV one night, you know what to do. If you want to drop me an email, give me the details, and also a phone number as well. Thank you for watching this Tuesday night. Still ahead on the programme, the X Factor star who lost control in this high-speed crash in Lincolnshire. And saying hello to their hero, the school children who've been able to thank the man who helped save their town from further flooding. Yeah, don't miss that coming up in just a bit. 16 minutes to 7. Tonight's photograph. Keep pictures coming in. Alvin Simpson took tonight's picture of beautiful Welton waters, and presumably that was yesterday because it was a stunning day. Alvin, thank you very much indeed for that. Another picture tomorrow night round about the same time. Good evening, young man.
Very good evening to you, Peter. What a miserable start to October it's been.
Indeed. Oh, you've gone into forecaster mode there already. I haven't even started.
I'll just slip the chip. Anyway,
Jan says,
what were you saying?
tell Paul, my husband and I watch you rather than the fuddy-duddies who do our local programme in the Norwich area.
Oh, is that Look East? It's incredible, actually, because their main presenter's even older than you. Well, I didn't think that were possible.
Nobody's laughing. Oh, yeah, they are laughing, sorry.
Well,
they are laughing.
Would you like to see the headline?
I suppose so.
On the dynamic look north from Hull. Let's have a look then. It does look as though it's going to be absolutely fantastic tomorrow. Blue skies for much of the day. What a transformation compared with what we've had today. And it's still raining in places. There's still drizzle showing up on the radar picture. But we've got a ridge of high pressure for tomorrow and for Thursday before this weather front brings rain Thursday night into Friday. Then a lot of uncertainty. This is actually the ex-hurricane that's weakened a lot by the time it gets to our part of the world, so there's no need to worry from that point of view. Now then, there's the weather front that's brought the rain and drizzle. There was some very heavy bursts across Lincolnshire for a time this morning, but tonight's and tomorrow's weather is up there and it's moving southwards as I speak. So it's a dull, damp and drizzly evening, but clear skies will take over through the course of the night, all parts becoming dry. And if you've got shelter from the breeze, there could well be a ground frost tonight with lows around 2 Celsius. That is 36 degrees Fahrenheit. OK, tomorrow's high water times then in Grimsby 8:43 and Skegness 9:14. So it will be a chilly start to tomorrow morning, but a bright start with unbroken sunshine, lots of blue sky. And although there will be a little bit of patchy cloud developing through the course of the day, there's lots of sunshine in the forecast tomorrow, so that will be a real tonic. That said, it is going to feel chilly. Despite the sunshine, we're looking at highs of 13 Celsius. That is just 55 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, Wednesday night, it looks like there'll be a widespread frost, even an air frost in places, but we will see plenty of sunshine, some rain Thursday night, then it's unsettled Friday and the weekend. Peter, that's the forecast.
Yeah, you'll be
tonight.
repaid for that. Do not worry about it at all. Actually, Jan goes on to say, my husband worked at the Met Office many years ago and has had Paul's books in the past. Meaning,
really?
Yeah,
all 5 of them?
The emphasis was had there. She's taken them to a charity shop now, like everybody else does.
99p, it's a bargain.
Have a nice evening.
See you later.
Now, dramatic pictures have emerged of the moment a reality TV star crashed his car during a road rage incident with another driver on the A1 in Lincolnshire. X Factor semi-finalist Matt Linnon was given a suspended jail sentence after he admitted throwing things at another driver who's from Grantham on his way home from a charity gig. Kate Sweeting has the story. She's with us now. Tell us what happened, Kate.
Well, this is the dash cam footage that the jury was shown before they convicted Matt Linnon of dangerous driving at Lincoln Crown Court. Now, they've heard that the 30-year-old lost his cool after he was cut up by Dominic Eaton while driving home along the A1 at Great Ponton. Now, the two drove aggressively towards each other. Linnon threw a coffee cup at Eaton's car and then threw a packet of peanuts out of his sunroof. The two cars then collided and left the road with Eaton's vehicle rolling over. Now, he had a young child in the car, but both escaped unhurt. Now, Matt Linnon, who's from Essex, was an X Factor semi-finalist in 2017. He denied the charges but was convicted and given a 6-month jail sentence, suspended for 12 months with 50 hours of unpaid work. He was banned from driving for a year and ordered to pay £1,400 prosecution costs. Now, 38-year-old Dominic Eaton, who was from Grantham, admitted dangerous driving. He was given an 8-month jail sentence, suspended for 2 years with 100 hours of unpaid work. He was also banned from driving for 2 years and ordered to pay £170 costs. Now, recorder William Harbage QC told them it's only by the grace of God that nobody was hurt. The driving of both of you was appalling.
Kate, thank you very much indeed. Kate Sweeting reporting. Thanks for all the responses to last night's story about rights for workers who are suffering from long-term illnesses. Well, last night we told you about Mark Ash from East Yorkshire, who was dismissed from his job while waiting for cancer treatment. He's now lobbying for a change to make sure that people can't be sacked because of their condition. Thanks for the emails, texts and tweets. This one, first of all, I was sacked by a local builders merchant after 11 months and was going through a diagnosis of multiple sclerosis. It's disgusting how employees are treated at the very time that they need humanity and care. And Nick added, I disagree with the Dying to Work initiative. Many private businesses or the public sector cannot afford this. If it is a concern to an individual, insurance is available for income protection and critical illness. Not much sympathy there from Nick. And just finally, Chris says, in March, I had to have major surgery out of the blue to remove a tumour from my spine. My employer was fantastic and even went against their own policy to continue paying me full pay after being off longer than expected. Chris, thank you very much indeed for that. And thanks for all the emails, texts and tweets on that subject last night. The Hull York Medical School has welcomed its largest ever intake with 257 students starting their courses to become doctors. Well, the 70% increase in student places is down to a Department of Health plan to train more doctors and help address staff shortages across the NHS.
About a third of them, in fact, are coming from the local Yorkshire Humber region. About half of those are actually coming from very specifically around York and Hull. And we know that having a great quality medical education in an area makes you want to stay and be a doctor in that area and help that community. And I think that's what we hope these increased numbers will do for us.
Drivers across Lincolnshire are being urged to regularly check their tyres. Lincolnshire Police want people to check their tyres at least once a month, especially as driving conditions become more hazardous over the winter. The force will be out speaking to motorists as part of a national campaign.
So there's three things to look for. Firstly is the depth of the tread on your tyre, which should be 1.6 millimetres. And so an easy check can be done using a 20p piece with that, which we could show you how to do. Also, we're looking for any rips or bulges in the tyre walls, which could cause issues with the tyre deflating at speed. Or there's also the pressures. Obviously, your tyre pressure should be at the correct level.
I think it's something that so many of us don't actually do, and the advice there is to check tyre pressures once a month. I'm just reading here some of the messages coming in on the subject of shopping and what we can do with the city centre. Dana says, I think the best way to attract shoppers back to the high street is free car parking and cheap car parking. Expensive car parking at the moment is putting people off. Many people saying exactly the same thing. Thanks for those. Keep them coming in. We'll have some more at the end of the programme. Nearly 4 months after a major rescue operation in Wainfleet, emergency crews have been reunited with the community. Dozens of families and homes were affected when the town flooded back in June after the river Steeping breached its banks. Today, those that helped to evacuate houses and shore up the riverbanks have been back to see how the community is coping. Gemma Dawson has this report.
3.5 months ago, parts of Wainfleet were underwater.
Absolutely crazy. Couldn't believe it. Never seen anything like it in all my years in Wainfleet. We lost everything on the ground floor in a house, so yeah, we've had to start again. Everything's gone.
But as floodwater wrecked homes and livelihoods, this community pulled together. And today they've come together again to share a cuppa and a cake and say thank you to those that helped.
We all went red and embarrassed when they started to cheer for us, because it's just part of our lives. You know, you're there to help people and you want to help people.
The RAF were also called in to help. Chinooks dropped hundreds of bags into the river Steeping to stem the flow of water after it breached its banks.
So I sit in the front of the Chinook with my magic buttons.
Today at the local school, a special guest, one of the pilots that helped coordinate the response.
It feels like really good because he's like Wainfleet's one of the heroes who actually like saved Wainfleet.
As well as flying in the area and looking, surveying the area and the damage that the flooding had caused, my job was then to coordinate how Chinook can best support that. And you said that the Chinook was flying over your house as well and it kept you awake at night time? Oh, sorry.
Here too, a chance to share stories about the impact of the floods.
Well, before the floods it was just a bit everyone was going around on their own, but when the floods began, everyone was coming in as a community to help each other, and now I think it's like a different place.
It's very humbling to actually come back here and see the sort of real difference that our efforts can make. Is something that I'll be sharing with the rest of the squadron when I go back.
And from all the children here, a special message for the teams that help their community.
That's a lovely story, isn't it? The school children from Wainfleet, ending that report from Gemma Dawson. And well done to the Chinook crews for turning up today. And of course, memories of that fateful, 2 or 3 days really, in Wainfleet. And the whole programme from down there, the people, when we turned up, was so welcoming. So we salute Wainfleet. Thank you very much. Now, in case you didn't know, today is Lincolnshire Day, a time for people in the county to get out their Lincolnshire flags and celebrate. It was actually started 13 years ago by Radio Lincolnshire, but is now celebrated all over the county. Here are some pictures from this Lincolnshire Day.
Lincoln. It's the best bit about Lincolnshire, I think.
They're friendly people.
Yeah, very friendly people and wonderful agriculture.
Nature, I think. Especially Lincolnshire Wolds.
Everything. The cathedral, Lincoln City.
I just remember saying when we got here it's Lincolnshire Day, and I didn't really know what it was, but I knew about the flags being up.
Plum bread is a Lincolnshire traditional dish. It's easy to have and it's tasty.
I don't know who it was playing there, but fabulous version of the Lincolnshire Poacher, and happy Lincolnshire Day if you are watching in the county. As I say, I didn't realise that, but it was started by Radio... Well, I knew it was started by Radio Lincolnshire, but I didn't realise it was 13 years ago. But happy Lincolnshire Day. Now, let's have a reminder of the main national and regional headlines from the BBC. Boris Johnson says he'll give the EU a far-reaching Brexit plan within days. There are questions over how millions of pounds can be spent to improve the area's high streets. Tomorrow's weather then for Wednesday, much better, dry and bright with good spells of sunshine. It is going to feel chilly though. Temperatures at best in the afternoon in the sunshine, 13 Celsius, 13 is 55 Fahrenheit. We talk so often on the programme about the problems with the town centres and city centres, and more recently, particularly, of course, with Hull and the problems, and that's what we talked about at the start of the programme. Big response on the story. John is in Lincoln. The real problem is parking and walking. Shoppers prefer shopping centres and online shopping, and who can blame them? It is much easier. Barry says it's time that we accept the inevitable, that high streets are dying due to the internet, lack of parking and business rates. I used to own a town centre hairdressers, but business rates beat us. We can't run a city centre on coffee shops and cafes. This is throwing good money after bad. Of course, it was a hairdresser that I was talking to earlier in the programme who shut up in Hull after 25 years last week. Kate says, when the only thing in town seems to be bookmakers or charity shops, why go into them? A drawer has to be found to go there. Once a shop is used for homes, the shops are gone. People will never visit again. And just briefly, Jenny says, we don't need offices or flats in High Street in Scunthorpe. What we need are decent shops to look around. No more phone, pound or card shops, thank you. Online shopping is killing high streets, so let's keep people in work and give us quality shops to spend our money. Thank you for those. Thank you for watching. Have a nice evening. Join me later if you can for the headlines at 10:30. If not, I'll see you tomorrow night, same time. Take care. Bye.
Off you go. Good. Well done. Off you go.
This remains the toughest interview process.
I have such expensive tastes. $1 million is not enough.
There's the elephant.
They're rhinos.
I was talking and you kept batting in. You're about as resolute as an empty crisp bag in the wind.
The Apprentice starts tomorrow at 9 on BBC One.
Hi, it's Dean here with your Tuesday night on BBC One with an unwelcome face back in the square. EastEnders, just half an hour away. With Holby here at 8, then will we finally get some answers in The Capture at 9. All to come after the One Show.
To your Tuesday One Shot. I can't believe it's Tuesday already with Michelle Ackley.
I'm Matt Baker, and wow, do we have a treat for you tonight?
Oh, yeah. Forget Jay-Z and even Cardi B, because we are about to be joined by a rap star of magnificent proportion.
Never too big for the boot. I got the big side drawers on my feet. The face ain't big for my boot. J.B. kick up to you. I know that kick up to you. Big boy,
Jeff
world for one night only. Show some respect for the man with the double R, giving it large, Ramesh Ranganathan!
Coming on the one show is a comedian. Used to teach maths, so I know about medians. I'm trying. I hate train stations. Give it up for Ramesh Ranganathan! Thank you.
Oh my goodness,
God,
that was super.
I mean,
yeah,
what an
that's just what I do.
entrance.
That is just what I do. I just spit bars.